Hey, Scott here. Hope you're well. So a good few things happened, or a few things happened yesterday that played out nicely, which is always good to see. A few things were very, very strong and didn't want to pull back. But we've seen some weakness in those pairs today, and there's a few things to talk about. So I will get stuck into it so we can have a look at what I'm seeing and see if you agree. Yeah, we'll just get this out of the way. Right. We'll start there. We'll start at the top. Bottom. So Aussie CAD. There's quite a few here, but I'll get through them as quick as I can. Aussie CAD. Daily chart is showing us rejection of this strong SR line and very bullish yesterday. Aussie in general is very bullish at the moment. So we just want to get on those trends where we can. Looking at the hourly chart. Oh, a bit slow today. Come on. This is the hourly chart, and we have just one really big, strong move up here. There's no news yesterday that I was aware of, but something happened. I wonder if this line here actually stopped it. You could probably say it did. Interesting. Okay, so we've got bullish pressure from yesterday, and MACD is looking really strong as well after this big reset. So the best thing here, I think, is a quick one-to-one pitch snatcher, or even looking at the daily. You could even push it high if you wanted to, maybe for a hyper trade. So the MACD is showing a big divergence actually. Take note of that one. MACD showing a divergence means we are losing daily momentum. But for quick one-to-one pitch snatcher, that looks pretty good. Okay, Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss, again, bullish day yesterday, a few days after rejecting this daily 50. Looking for that to continue. Is this here going to be some kind of resistance? It might be. There's a few things over here which may prove to be resistance. But overall, a pretty strong day yesterday. Hopefully that will continue. And looking at the MACD, MACD was kind of rolling over until we had this big rush yesterday. So again, this is another pip snatcher, quick one-to-one. Now remember, with the pip snatcher, we need to wait for the 1 hour 50 to catch up as we enter. It's about to be rejected. So 1 hour 50 is quite a long way behind on this one. Aussie CAD. I didn't pick that up once we talked about it. Let's quickly go back. 1 hour 50 is not too far behind. I might have time to catch up. Aussie Swiss seems to have run away a little bit. So we'll see if that plays out. Maybe it'll just hang around here for a good few hours till later on. Then we do have this trend line to contend with as well, acting as support, but we don't really want to break through that to enter the trade, because then that may act as some kind of resistance to stop our trade reaching its profit target. Right, did I just get rid of that? Keeps coming back. Okay, so that's Aussie Swiss. Let's go look at Aussie Yen. So a lot of the yen pairs are quite similar. We've had, and the Aussie strong as well. So we had a very bullish day yesterday, breaking through the daily 50. Hopefully that will continue. MACD still okay. Still got some momentum there. 1 hour 50 is quite a long way behind, and this is the biggest problem with the yen pairs I've found. Is the run has been so strong that the 1 hour 50 is lagging behind. So that is the only real issue. If the 1 hour 50 does have time to catch up, then there'll be plenty of options on the yen pairs. That's one to consider. Some of the yen pairs are also rolling over, so we've got to be careful of that. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, so we've got a rejection of the daily 20, strong from there for the last few days. Looking for that to continue today. MACD still looking okay. Seems to start rolling over, but it's still getting higher highs on the MACD as this is getting higher. So again, I want a 150 retest on the pivot for a pip snatcher long. That seems to be quite a good option there. Just a few pip snatchers on offer so far. Well, there's some more interesting ones later on. Euro Aussie. Right, we've had a nice rejection of this trend line and a rejection of this it's pretty strong resistance level. And we broke through the daily 50 yesterday, so looking for that to continue. The only thing to be wary of would be this level here, which seems to have something there. It's been holding quite strong here. Let's move it down so you can see it. Maybe rejection here, here. Nothing really. Rejection here, and bumping the road there, and maybe rejection there, and almost rejection there. So maybe there's something here, but if we look at the hourly chart, we can see we've got a nice strong downtrend. Had a good trend line. MACD is looking really good. So again, the pip snatcher short would be the way to go if the 1 hour 50 has time to catch up. And Aussie. Lots of Aussie stuff going on today. Again, we've had this is an interesting one. Yeah, this is the one I was going to talk about. Okay, so we've had a rejection of the daily 50. We kind of went through it, then back through it again. That's okay. The talking point here is, we look at the monthly, we see we've broken down below the monthly 50, rejected back, pull back, and rejected again with a nice high test candle there. And now we're heading short again, it seems. So that's interesting, right? That tells us that the month is rejecting short. You could even say this is it's a bit like a CBO, and we've got a retest of the monthly 50 and retest of the weekly 50 here as well, if you can see that. We've broke through the weekly 50, pulled back to it, rejects it last week, and now we seem to be heading short again, which is interesting. So we've got the monthly, the weekly, and the daily pretty much in line. What Luke likes to call the Holy Grail. I think that's what the class says. So looking for some short action to continue. And you see, once we broke through the daily 50 yesterday, it was pretty much downwards all the way. No chance of pullback yet. This fib from here down to these lows is looking really good. Pretty much perfect for a lovely CBO short. So let us pull back to the 1 hour 50 catching up. 4 hour 50 is back here as well. We can see there's a lovely CBO short. What we want is for it to pull back. That could be a lovely little trade. Usually pounds are very interesting, but there's quite a few on the list today. Pound CAD rejecting this level here and bearish for the last couple of days. Hopefully that'll continue. I guess we could say this trend line here may have some kind of support. And then we go back to the hourly chart and we see that we've got a downtrend. The MACD is still okay. Push actually is a good option. Hourly 50 is just behind it. Pound CAD might really set up for another 6 hours or so. So it needs to go sideways for 6 hours, which it may well do. Just keep an eye on that one. That might be something worth keeping an eye on. Also, I was going to say the back to the hourly chart. The 1-to-1 on the pip snatcher is very close to 4 hour 50. You should be able to just about squeeze it in. If you just trim the stop back a little bit, depends on where your entry is. Keep that in mind. Okay, pound Kiwi. Again, we've had a nice rejection of this level here and we're broken through the daily 50, so looking for that to go short. There's simply some kind of level here. It's been trading in the range for a long time, it seems. So maybe that's going to stop. Let's stop the short trade, but maybe not. On the hourly chart. Okay, so it looks pretty good for a CBO. CBO with the pullback from here, fibs from up here, which is nice. 382 lines up where the 1 hour 50 will be, and the 450 just behind it. It looks perfect. What I don't like is the, not sure what this thing's doing there still. What I don't like is this MACD divergence we've got happening here. Now it's only a small one, so a small MACD divergence might just be enough to push it back to a 4 entry and then continue down, or maybe not. So I'm going to put that on some secondary list there. Pound dollar. Pound dollar doesn't usually behave itself very well, but we've got quite a nice looking price action here. We've got a very strong resistance level. It's been rejected. We've got a nice doji candle yesterday. You could even take this as a possible swing trade, swing reversal. Unfortunately, daily 20 and daily 50 quite close, but you could possibly get this is a straightforward swing trade into below those lows, stop below these highs, and then trade out. Yeah, only get 1% or so in there. It's not really very exciting. Maybe as a swing, as an SBO, taking a day entry might give us a better option. So we've had a IBO setting up and hasn't gone anywhere, so maybe again that will go sideways for another 6 hours and go short. Could be an option as well, IBO. Or if you wanted to do an SBO, do we have a trend line breaking? Really, it's a bit messy, isn't it? Nothing really great here. Maybe there's something there, in which case we've missed the breakout. Yeah, SBO is a tricky one to get in. Maybe you could just do it as a 1 hour break, but you really missed that one as well. Yeah, maybe SBO is not going to happen. But the IBO, maybe in a few hours, that could just really break out. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. We've got bounced off this level here. We've got MACD divergence on here. I'll just zoom into the MACD. You can see it's getting higher lows as we go in the last few weeks. And although we have been lower lows on the price action, so we've got a MACD divergence, suggesting we are going to have some kind of reversal or pullback, which you know is good for a long trade. But the price action really doesn't give much for us. It's trending up, but we've got to make the divergence here, so not the best. I think there's probably better trades out there, better dollar trades and better yen trades. Okay, we'll quickly go through some ones which might set up just a little bit later today or possibly tomorrow. Head Swiss, nice little bounce here, decelerating in the day 2050 zone. We're looking at here. We've got a nice MACD divergence that could be good for, I think we've already had a 5 waves, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So I wouldn't want to take this as a CBO long. It may play out, but I wouldn't take that personally because we've had our 5 waves already. Got a break below the early 50 and the 4 50, but a nice CBO short. So maybe we'll get that. That's what the MACD is hinting at. Euro Swiss. We've got 3 Swisses here in this list. Again, very positive momentum and then decelerating a bit. And then looking to go short maybe later. Again, the MACD divergence as this has been trending up. This is now trending down. So we've got a breakdown below the 1 hour 50 and a pullback to the 1 hour 50. We can have an IBO short down to the 4 hour 50 or push it a bit further. It's possible for later today or maybe tomorrow. And pound Swiss, similar kind of thing, although not quite as clean. On the daily chart, on the hourly chart, we have, and this ties in with our pound weakness we've seen in earlier pound pairs. So we've got a nice double top there and a very big MACD divergence. So it looks like it's going to break down. Also a trend line here, which you may want to keep an eye on that one. Make sure it breaks through that. Breaks through that, pulls back. That could be a nice IBA short. Last one we'll look at Kiwi dollar. So we've gone up to this level here, which is a pretty good resistance level for these last two touches here, and even this touch here. Now we're trying to break through it, and yesterday we did close above it. But what do we have on our hourly chart? We've got this big rolling over on the MACD. So we've got higher highs or equal highs, and then we've got much lower highs on the MACD. So that's looking like we are going to break down lower. Trend line to consider here as well. Break through the trend line, 1 hour 50, pull back to the 1 hour 50. Could be a nice IBO short down to 4 hour 50, day 20, or possibly even day 50. And push it all the way down there. So there you go, that's what I have. I'm going to come back. On first. All right, good. There you go. So there's a few things there to keep an eye on. Hopefully, so was not working. Look at the blank screen. All right, I wish you all the best then. Let's keep an eye on those setups. Quite a few there to keep an eye on today. A few nice ones, hopefully. I wish you all the best, and I will speak to you same time tomorrow. I will see you then. Take care.